daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Welcome to Road Cup 26. That was a good start. Welcome to Road Cup 26. Oh, dearie me. It's one of those days already.
It's a long day, Nick. It's a long day.
It has been a long day. It's been a long day. I've been up for about 20 hours. It feels. Ken's got a glass of wine. I thought I was about to introduce my co-host today, Donald Trump, because he had a very Trumpian type hat on, which turns out to be his Cincinnati Bengals baseball cap, I think, instead. But if you are watching this on YouTube, it isn't the American president, although he doesn't.
Playing tonight, that's all. Thursday night football.
Yeah.
Against the Steelers, big game tonight.
Right. That's of no interest for soccer fans, I'm sure. No interest in soccer fans. Hello, my name is Nick Britton. As always, I'm joined by my esteemed colleague, the man who thinks he knows everything about football and doesn't. But he's here anyway. Mr. Ken Davis, how are you, Kenny?
Good. As you say, it's been a long, long day. The nights are drawing in. It's autumn. It's virtually winter in the UK now, isn't it? And the nights have got very dark and very cold. And we're all snuggled round with a hot water bottle and round the fire, telling ghost stories, the kind of thing that we do in the UK all the time. I don't
know if you noticed, by the way, a little bit earlier on when we were recording the Daily Premier League podcast, we started, when it wasn't that long a podcast, but we started out and it was like really light. And then by the time we finished, it was pitch black.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
I thought you were alluding to the fact that when we started, it was really light, humid. And by the end, you clearly needed your tea because you got really, really grumpy. Really, go listen to it on the Daily Premier League podcast, folks. See what you think. God, blimey, he was grumpy.
I just didn't have to put up with all your nonsense and talking rubbish.
Yeah, I got the sense that enough was enough at that point.
Yeah, here we are, a couple of hours later, doing it all over again, but looking at the World Cup. So part of we're going to do things a little bit differently today. So part of your normal Road to World Cup 26 podcast listening experience is bits of news, bits of fun, this and that, and a deep dive into the teams that have already qualified. But we were going to do that, but actually there have been so many teams who have qualified over the last couple of rounds of games, so the last couple of weeks. We thought today we would just catch up with everything because I think, Ken, if my maths is correct, we've had about 8 qualifiers in the last weeks.
There's been 8 teams in the last couple of weeks, which means we've got our next 7 episodes in the bag. Or at least we know where we're going. The only one of the 8 teams who we have done in our deep dive into the individual teams is England. So the other 7, of which we want to talk about tonight, we haven't done.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and we're going to have to redo England because I think that's kind of changing anyway. But yeah, England became the first European team to qualify. So I'll tell you what, let's start there. We're going to look at Europe. We're going to look at Asia. We're going to look at Africa. There are 3 federations where we've had qualifying teams this week. So seeing as you mentioned it, we might as well start with England. But before we do that, as regular listeners to this show will know, there's always a bit of breaking news. We always like to bring you the news, things that's going on in the world of the World Cup. And today's Yeah, the actual news is going to last considerably shorter than that sting because there isn't much going on. There are a couple of things I want to talk about. One of them is actually England, so I'm going to squeeze that into when we talk about England's qualification. The other thing is, for the first time since ticket went on sales, FIFA today, Thursday the 16th of October 2025, have announced ticket sales and told us how they're doing. And not surprisingly, they're doing extremely well. So over 1 million tickets have been sold already for the World Cup next year. I don't suppose it's going to be a massive surprise. The biggest tranche of buyers, as you would expect, is in the US, Canada and Mexico, the 3 host nations. But in terms of other countries and interest in tickets and tickets purchased, well, again, probably no surprise. England, Germany, Brazil, Spain, Colombia, Argentina and France.
Yeah, makes sense. All tipped to do rather well, I think, in the competition. Good to see. I get a sense simply because we're getting more and more people interested in the podcast and loads of emails and things like that. general level of interest in the World Cup is warming up nicely.
Yeah, it is, and it always does. And there's always stories knocking around. I've been involved in sports journalism for many, 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 many years, and what you always get in front of a big tournament, whether it's the World Cup, whether it is the Olympics, you get a tranche of negative stories. And it's all doom and gloom, and stadiums won't be ready, and this won't be built, and that won't happen. This time around, because it's in the USA particularly, we don't have the stadiums won't be built or stadiums won't be ready. What we're having at the moment is, are games going to be moved? Because today, again, that issue has raised its head with Donald Trump saying, perhaps we're going to move out of Boston because he's fallen out with the Democratic mayor over there and it's not safe and all of that kind of stuff. And look, I think we realistically know it's not going to happen, but it makes for a good story.
It's Trump positioning. He does it on all kinds of different issues. This is just the latest one. It'll blow over.
Very much so. Very much so. But in terms of the tickets, just to finish off on that, the data has shown that the lowest price seats, which were $60, we talked about this the other week, are available for at least 40 matches. So that's good. I mean, that'll be all the early games. There won't be the big teams, and it won't be the big games. The resale site,
every World Cup game is special.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean it's any good. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it is, but anyway, the FIFA have announced that the resale site. So that's what I was looking for. The resale site has opened, and tickets for the World Cup final in New Jersey are available there today, with prices ranging from $9,538 to $57,500. Ken, so you can bag a couple of top seats, can't you? You'll be all right.
Have a look what's in my wallet. 2 old fivers. What can I get for that?
Tell you what, mate, it's the first time I've ever seen you open your wallet. A load of moths flew out then.
Yeah, when I say the 2 old fivers, I mean the 2 fivers from the 1950s that you can't use anymore.
Yeah, I've genuinely never seen you open your wallet. That's extraordinary. I didn't know you had. So tickets are going really, really well. There are roughly 7.1 million seats to fill for the 104 games that go on. So they've sold over 1 million already, so they won't have any problem doing that. So a good start. And I like it. I like that because I like these kind of buoyant, optimistic stories. I think you get all the stuff that's going on with Trump. You get all the kind of negative stuff and stories. There have been stories knocking around that Homeland Security, ICE are going to burst into stadiums and pull people out and deport them and all that kind of stuff. They won't do that.
No, they
won't do that. If you remember at Qatar, in Qatar, where 2022, there's all sorts of stories beforehand, wasn't there? That they won't. They're going to ban homosexuals and they'll come and put you out and put you in jail if you are. And of course, it doesn't happen. It's absolutely ridiculous.
No,
absolute nonsense. So that is
over eventually, doesn't it? The football, the fact we're all looking forward to the football and the teams and who's playing and the players. That's what the story is going to be about as you go into 2026.
100%. Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. So that's your breaking news today. Good news on the ticket sale. Right, let's talk about the football then. And we're going to move on to Europe, who are finally, it must be said, getting going in full steam ahead with their qualifying campaign. They are miles behind everybody else. Although the 50 rounds of qualification in Asia is still rumbling on. You'll be glad to know.
It finishes in 2028.
Yeah, it will do. It will do. So qualification in UEFA is doing well, and England have become not surprisingly, I mean, they've just got a lot of pub teams in their group, but they've become the first.
I don't think you can say that. I know they are clearly the strongest team, but I didn't have them doing as well as they've done. I didn't have them winning away in Serbia and winning away in Latvia quite the way they have. I think they've been amazing. They've been dominant over the last month.
Over the last month, yeah. Over the last month. But don't forget they were getting booed off not that long ago.
Yeah.
And everybody's moaning about they have to. Why do we always play Andorra and Albania and Serbia and Latvia? Why can't we play some decent teams? Okay. Well, maybe they're not pub teams, but they're not very good. And it's no surprise that England have played 6-1-6 and have qualified with a goal difference of plus 18.
Have they conceded a goal yet?
No, they haven't conceded a goal for over a year.
Amazing.
Well, we haven't played anybody decent. That's why. Well done to England. I want to say this. I want to say what Thomas Tuchel. I am, as you know, a big fan of Thomas Tuchel, and I was very, very, very pleased when he got the job. And I'm even more pleased about two things that are happening now. One is since that very, very dull draw, which I had the victory against, wasn't a draw, that very dull victory against Andorra at Villa
It
Park.
felt like a draw.
It felt like a lot more than that, mate. It felt like terrible game. But since then, we've had a couple of banging 5-0s.
Fantastic performances.
And not only that, but the football's been much better. It feels like it's starting to click. And very, very interestingly, for this set of games, the squad was very similar to the last set of games. And Thomas Tuchel's been making lots of noises about doesn't want to make this is kind of his squad. He doesn't want to make many changes even. Doesn't want to make any changes. So, and this brings me around to my little topic of discussion, because there's news today that he's going to have a meeting with Jude Bellingham, who, of course, is out in the cold as far as England is concerned. Many rate him as England's best player. I don't really, but I don't know what your thoughts are, Ken, about Jude Bellingham. But we know that they fell out. We know that Thomas Tuchel doesn't like the way he behaves on the pitch in terms of the way he criticises other players when he deems them to have made a mistake, the way he berates officials. In fact, he went so far as to call his play repulsive earlier on this year, and since then he's never been picked. Now, he did have a shoulder injury which kept him out for a little while. We know that, but he's been fit and firing of late, and he's still out of the squad. I think we'll see him in the next squad next month. But yeah, what do you think, Ken? What do you think? What do you think about the whole Jude Bellingham thing? Is he going to be on the plane or not?
Yeah, he's going to be on the plane. He's going to be on the plane. But I think what it has shown, Tuchel is like a quiet assassin to me. He's not particularly, he doesn't berate players and he doesn't raise his voice, but you just get the impression he's a fairly cold, clinical, no nonsense kind of fella. And sometimes people like that can be a little bit underrated. You know, people think because they're quiet, because their demeanour is relatively calm, that they're a bit of a pushover. Tuchel is no pushover. And in fact, he had a reputation when he was a club manager for being quietly extremely demanding of his players and completely intolerant of what he saw as behaviour which wasn't positive to the team ethos. He's always had that reputation, and he's brought that to England. And I think with the Bellingham thing, I mean, Bellingham is an extremely good player. Whether he's done enough for long enough to be considered to be a great player, I think he's a long way off a great player. And one of the things I kind of like about Tuchel is that, and I don't think we'd have seen this before Tuchel, if he doesn't fit into Tuchel's plans, I'm sorry, Jude, it's not happening. And if there's a particular style of play or a particular shape that he wants to play, and Bellingham doesn't fit into that shape or that style or that theme, he's not going to play. He's not going to start. And Tuchel doesn't care. And I think other team managers may have cared more. This thing about the repulsive, this comment about, which he did say, he said, Bellingham's hunger and rage and fire can come out in a way that can be a bit repulsive. That was what he said. I think there's a bit of an issue here with the language thing, in the sense of, I don't think he quite meant repulsive in the sense of, it would repulse you to see it. I think he just meant it could come across as not particularly positive, and people could look at it and be unhappy with what they're seeing in terms of Bellingham's body language and the things he does. So I think actually things like that do, particularly when you're a Galactico like Bellingham, I don't think that kind of stuff sits well. And I'm sure there is a bit of a tension between these two characters. If there is, there's only going to be one winner. That's going to be Tuchel. So I'm kind of pleased to see it, because I like big players and big player egos being brought down to size a little bit. I think that's happening in front of our eyes with Bellingham. I think Bellingham will definitely be a key part of the team, but Tuchel's made it clear that nobody's bigger than the team, and Bellingham clearly isn't bigger than the team right now.
Well, he's also not going to get in the team right now because Elliot Anderson has come in and absolutely stolen the show.
No one would have thought that, would they? A year ago, Elliot Anderson is going to out.
Exactly. He's come in and stolen the show. That's allowed Declan Rice to push on. We saw a 4-1-4-1 formation against Latvia the other day. So if you've got Anderson there, he ain't dropping Rice, that's for sure.
No.
So Bellingham doesn't even get in the team at the moment. I think I agree with you. There's no way Southgate would have behaved like this. There's no way Southgate would have behaved like this.
No.
And I'd love to see this from Tuchel. I really, really do. I think it shows really good strongman management. He's also been talking quite a lot around people showing what he calls good citizen behaviour in camp and certain principles around work rate. And, that sets standards that those outside of the squad at the moment who want to get in it, and there's quite a few players, by the way, big name players. We've talked about Bellingham, but we're also talking about Phil Foden and players like that, who a couple of years ago you would have thought absolutely first names on the team sheet.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of work to do around those areas if they want to get in. So
I do like this. It feels more of a meritocracy, doesn't it?
Yeah, I do like it, and I think it's brilliant for those sorts of players like Anderson, who they can now see a pathway, whereas before they're just thinking, as soon as Bellingham comes in, I'm out. Now they can see a pathway for themselves where that isn't necessarily the case. And if you play well, and if you behave well, and if you do all the things the manager wants you to do, you'll be in the team.
Which I like.
Yeah, I do. That's what it should be like. That's what it should be like. How many times down the years have we seen teams, and Real Madrid's a great example, France is a great example on the national stage, and England is, to be fair, chock full of great players, but they're not a good team. What Tuchel seems to be doing is building a good team, and it's teams that win World Cups. And Tuchel is a serial winner. So I'm starting to get a little bit excited about England.
Oh, here we go. What I would say is often when you see these kind of situations where managers fall out with players, the focus on it can be on that individual player and the negative effect maybe it has on that player. What you've got to balance it with is the positive effect it has on all the other players when they see the fact that one player isn't being treated differently. Everybody gets treated the same. And if you don't perform, if your form isn't where it needs to be, you're going to be replaced. And I think the positive effect that has on everybody else is way beyond advantageously the negative effect it may have on a particular individual.
Well, there's never a truer cliche or saying than one bad apple spoils the barrel, as there is in a football team.
As the Osmonds said in 1974, wasn't it?
I think so.
I think that was
you'll know. I wouldn't.
Yeah, for those famous
I was too young, but
Mormon philosophers.
Yes, and that's never truer than in a football team where one or two bad influences can have a very, very negative effect on the whole of the dressing room. So very good. Right, whilst Ken prepares to fish out today's word from our sponsors, let me just talk you through very briefly and bring you up to speed with how UEFA qualification is going. No great surprises, I've got to tell you, in terms of the big teams and how they're performing. So Germany top Group A with 9 points from 4. Switzerland top Group B with 10 points from 4. Denmark top Group C with 10 points from 4. Scotland also with 10 points from 4, sitting in second space. And Greece, who are third, have only got 3 points from 4. So Scotland looking nailed on for a playoff place. If not, some kind of automatic qualification, which would be extraordinary.
I know.
I mean, that's the Scotland-Denmark game is going to be massive. In Group D, France top it with 10 points from 4 games. Spain are being Spain, played 4-1-4, 12 points, top of Group E. Portugal, and we're going to talk about Ronaldo in a little while, world record breaking Ronaldo this week. 10 points from 4 as well. The Netherlands have done really well. 16 points from 6 games. We're getting into the groups now that have played 6. The previous ones have played 4. We're now getting into the groups that have played 6. Netherlands played 16. Austria played 6. 15. They top Group H. Group I, Norway 18 from 6. Italy second in that group, 15 from 6. About time Italy had a good, strong qualifying campaign in the World Cup. They've been missed in recent years. Belgium on top of Group J with 14 from 6 games. England, as we've talked about, have won their group already. 18 points from 6 games, a complete and utter whitewash there, played 6-1-6, and Croatia, top Group L, with 16 points from 6. And when you look around the whole of the qualifying, it is kind of going to plan. The only one that stands out, the only outlier in all of that, Ken, is Sweden, who are bottom of Group B with only 1 point from 4 games. And they're always in and around World Cups, and that's a real surprise because they're not. I don't think they're going to qualify. They're going to have to do an awful lot of work now.
They've got ropey strikers like Alexander Isak, haven't they?
We've talked about Isak, haven't we, on the Premier League podcast? We talked about him.
He's out of sorts.
Well, he played 2 games for Sweden in this international break, didn't score a goal.
The only other team I would mention in credit is the Faroe Islands, who I think beat Czech Republic, didn't they? Something crazy.
How extraordinary.
And have played 7 and won 4 of them or something. So, hey, hats off to the... Well, I wouldn't take my hat off if I was in the Faroe Islands. You freeze your ears off. But metaphorically, hats off to the Faroe Islands.
Yeah, they are third in Group L with played 7, won 4, lost 3, 12 points. They sit 1 point behind Czech Republic and 4 points behind Croatia. They could get in the playoffs.
That'd be amazing. You know what would make my World Cup?
That would be even more extraordinary than Cape Verde getting through. We're going to talk about Cape Verde.
Imagine Cape Verde against the Faroe Islands.
Yeah, I don't think I want to imagine that.
Imagine that. I'd be sitting up for that one. The other thing I'd look forward to is the Faroe Islands against Egypt. I mean, the Faroes everywhere you look, wouldn't they?
The Faroe Derby.
Yeah, it would be the Faroe Derby. No one else would spot that except us. It would be become known as the Faroe Derby.
This is true. The only problem is that if the game was being played in the Faroe Islands, that Egypt would probably miss their boat and wouldn't make it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
and you have need to listen to
episode, don't you?
Yeah, you need to listen to every episode to understand that gag.
But it's funny.
So listen, that's Europe. It is pootling along quite nicely and as expected, other than perhaps Sweden and the Faroes. More to come from that as qualifiers carry on. But for now, Ken, a word from our sponsors, if you would.
Yeah, because as we know, Thomas Tuchel knows this very well, it pays to get your team selection right. And here at Global Sports Podcast Network, we spent a lot of time selecting our delivery partner, and we chose Zencastr because Zencastr makes it easy to bring your vision to life, share it with the audience everywhere they may be. Now, it's got 4K video recording, it's got easy AI editing tools, and it's got distribution tools, and they're all in one place, all on one platform. So if you've got a story to tell it with Zencastr. If you check the show notes, you'll find more detail.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
You know what? I got a weird sense of deja vu then. I think you need to turn your microphone on, Nick.
Oh, for goodness sake, you know what?
I tell you what, this is Pulitzer Prize winning punditry.
It's something prize winning, and I don't know what the prize is, but I don't think it's very good. Yeah, sorry about that. My microphone was off. And you are listening to Road to World Cup 26 podcast, part of the Global Sports Podcast Network, the only place in the whole world, where you can find regular World Cup podcast content. We still can. We say this every week. We're still the only podcast in the world that is doing
the original and best. The original best. By the way, if you're enjoying it, subscribe, leave a review, share the podcast. You can do that amongst your mates. We'd love to hear your thoughts on any aspect of the World Cup. You can email us at roadtoworldcup26@gmail.com. Yeah,
please don't email and just say, can you please tell that idiot to turn his microphone on? Because I already know that. I'm feeling that already.
I just emailed that, Nick. I actually emailed him saying, turn your microphone on, mate.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look at Africa, because Africa has kind of crept up on us, I think, a little bit, Kane. It seems to have been going on for quite a long time. Then suddenly...
It's kind of tectonic plates or something.
No, but it's just suddenly finished. It's suddenly finished. Right. I kind of feel a bit like Asia. It's been going along a long time. But suddenly it's finished, and we know exactly which teams are going to be playing in the World Cup from Africa. This week, the Ivory Coast, Senegal, and South Africa qualified. They joined the absolute surprise package of the African Federation qualifiers, Cape Verde.
Cabo Verde.
Or yes, need them as well. They qualified last week. Saw off I think probably what a lot of people saw as group favourites going into it, Cameroon.
Yeah.
They finished second in the group, so congratulations to them. So we now know that the qualifiers are Egypt, Senegal, South Africa, Cape Verde, or how do you say it again? Capo Verde.
Cabo Verde.
Okay. Morocco, Ivory Coast, Algeria, Tunisia, and Ghana. Now, there are some big names missing from that list. And a couple of those big names they still have a shout. They're still in with it. Because the 4 best placed second place teams out of all of the various groups go through to a playoff where first place, 4th, second place, 3rd, then there's a final. And the winner of that final goes into the big global FIFA playoff where they'll play the winner of another confederation playoff. So in the playoffs are Cameroon, Democratic Republic of Congo, Gabon, and creeping in there at the very, very last second, Nigeria. Now, we've talked about Nigeria on this podcast quite a lot, and they looked halfway through like they were done and dusted. They didn't look like they were going to qualify. They'd had a really poor start to their campaign, but they've come on strong, and they actually went into the final game of qualifying below Benin, who were sitting in second place and looking like they were going to do it.
Benin to get in?
But they played Benin and they tanked them 4-0. Victor Osimhen with a hat-trick, and Nigeria leapfrogged Benin into second spot and get into the playoffs. And that's the highest they've been in the group since it started. So they've timed their run really well, to be fair to them.
Yeah, and I like a Nigerian team in the World Cup. I just think they're more powerful. I mean, well done, Benin, but I just think Nigeria just bring a different level of energy to it. So I'm quite pleased about that. They're not there yet. They go through the qualification process, but they're still in with a shout. Yeah,
they are still in with a shout, and fair play to them because for quite a long time they looked like they weren't going to be in with a shout. So that is.
I forgot about Ghana, by the way. Well done for remembering Ghana.
Thank you very much.
I've completely slipped off my radar. So we have to add Ghana. We haven't done Ghana.
No. They qualified reasonably late in the day. But yeah.
Missed them.
Well, it's a good job one of us is doing the job then, isn't it? It's a good job one of us.
Sorry about that, Ghana. I won't be able to show me face in Ghana now.
I think that's been the case for many years, to be fair.
Many other countries as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Obviously, since that court case.
Yeah, but, exactly. Yeah. There's a reason why he hasn't been out of Derby for 45 years.
I mean, hiding.
So those playoff games take place in November. 13th of November is the 2nd v 3rd, 4th v 1st, and in terms of best qualifiers. And then Sunday the 16th of November is that final game. So, yeah, that's good. That's good. Well done. Well done to the African teams who've qualified, and best of luck to those in the playoffs.
Question for you, Nick.
Go for it.
Before you go any further. 2 questions. I was having a look at the FIFA rankings for all of these teams that have got in from Africa. As you mentioned, Cape Verde was the surprise package. What's their FIFA ranking? I'll give you 5 points either side. 5 places either side. You get it right.
Gosh. Cape Verde. Well,
there's 2 questions. There's a question B, by the way, in this.
Is it? All right, okay. I'm either going to say 75 or I'm going to say 126th. I think I'm going to go with 126th.
70. You were right the first time.
So you're right first time. Yeah, it's one of those you're not quite sure, yeah.
70. Of course, when you've had a campaign like they've had, you probably start off at 135th and you end up 70th. So, they are 70th. So they're still well outside the 48s, if you like, teams. So they've done very well to get there. But there they are. Now, part B to this was, I thought it might be an interesting question. Can you name the top 5 football, men's teams football, FIFA rankings 1 to 5, which 5 teams in what order?
Oh gosh, no, because I haven't looked at the rankings for ages.
That's why I thought I'd ask you the question.
I
Embarrassing.
think, yeah,
Millions.
yeah, I know, yeah.
You
Well, you
do
do
that
that.
for a week.
You do that on a regular basis, to be fair.
Mm.
Right, top 5.
Who's number 1?
I think Argentina. No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. Spain. It must be Spain.
Okay. Spain. Yes. Who's second?
I think England are third. So there's a team in there. It won't be, and I don't think it's a European team. I'm going to go. I don't think it's Argentina, but I can't think of anybody else. I mean, they've won CONMEBOL qualifying. So
I mean,
they
you
must
know
have
it's not Cape Verde as well.
I know it's not Cape Verde. Yeah.
70.
So, but I don't think it is. I think Argentina or something like seventh or something like that. Or was that Brazil? I'm going to go Argentina.
No, they're third.
A third, are they? Oh, in that case, is it England?
It's France.
France. Oh, are they? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Look, you're not going to
I
argue
didn't
that.
see that coming.
No, so no, I didn't quite. So yeah, so France second, Spain first, France second, Argentina third, England have got to be fourth then.
You've frozen a bit on me, Nick. I can't
Sorry,
hear you.
England have got to be
if you can
fourth.
hear me.
Yeah. I think Ken's disappeared.
Hello, Nick.
I think Ken's disappeared.
You sound like a xylophone to me at the moment.
Okay, well, that's because I'm playing the xylophone.
Hello.
And Ken has indeed disappeared. I was about to. Well, he was actually just about to tell us what the FIFA rankings were. He's disappeared. We know that Spain is number 1. We know that France is number 2. We know that Argentina is number 3. I think England are number 4, but Ken disappeared. But I think he's back. Are you back,
I'm
Kenny?
back.
Well
Yeah.
done. I think England are 4th.
Yes.
Right. So 5th. It's not Brazil because I know they're not a top 5 ranked side. I think they're 6th or 7th. So it's going to be, if it's not Argentina or Brazil, it's going to be a European side. We know it's not Germany. It won't be Germany. It won't be Italy. It might be Portugal because they won the Nations League. It might, yeah. They've got a load of ranking points for winning the Nations League. So I'm going to go Portugal 5th. No, I don't know. Ken's disappeared again. His Wi-Fi has just completely collapsed. If he comes back, then he'll tell me whether I'm right or wrong. I've no idea. So let's move on, shall we? Because we've just got a little bit. If Ken comes back, we are going to do Kenny's quiz this week, and that's probably the reason why he's run away. We're going to have a look at Asia and Asia qualifying because we've had 2 teams qualify this week. So congratulations to Saudi Arabia. They have qualified this week. Congratulations to Qatar. They've qualified this week. And the Asia qualifying is rumbling on. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. There are lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of rounds of qualifying for Asia, as we know. But we're nearly there. So congratulations to Qatar, who have qualified. Congratulations to Saudi Arabia, who have qualified. Iraq and UAE are now in the playoffs. So that is another round, would you believe? It's still going on. There is another round of games in this, and UAE will play Iraq in a 2-legged playoff, home and away, in November. And the winner of that game brings the curtain down, finally, goodness me, on the whole Asia qualifying. And that'll be the last Asian qualifying games. So UAE versus Iraq in the playoffs. Well done in the little round robin group to Qatar, who finished top of their group with UAE and Oman, and Saudi Arabia finished top of their group with Iraq and Indonesia. So congratulations to those. Thank goodness that Asia is done and dusted, in brackets almost. But the whole shape of the big global FIFA playoff competition is really now starting to take shape. I think it won't be long before we know exactly who's in it. I think I'm joined again by Ken. Ken, can you hear me? Are you still alive? Are you with us? What's going on with your Wi-Fi, mate? You yet again have not put 50p in the meter.
You're kind of sounding like a xylophone. It's obviously something is happening with the internet.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Well, just go home.
I
Well,
think I
you're
prefer
home.
you sounding like this, to be honest, though.
Yeah, just go home. Right.
Hello,
Okay.
mate.
Yeah. So,
Hey, did you get who was fifth, by the way?
oh, you're back here. Goodness me. Well, I said Portugal, but I
Yeah,
don't
you're
know.
right. He
It is
was
right.
right.
Okay. Fine. I was
Well,
right.
you
Okay.
did very well on that. I think you only got one the wrong way around.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Right. The last bit of this. In fact, before we do, now that I've got you, can we just have a very quick word from our dear friends at Bioniq, and then we're going to finish the podcast with a look at arguably the world's greatest player.
Yeah. Yeah, because just like this internet connection, your body is unique. And we've partnered with Bioniq because what we need and what we need on this internet connection is the world's most personalized supplement. And because without knowing what deficiencies you have, taking off the shelf supplements mean you're probably not getting enough of the nutrients you need. You're probably getting too many of the ones you don't need. No one wants that. So Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs, exactly the right levels, no guessing involved. So click the link in the show notes, use the code GSPN 2025 for your 33% discount, 40% discount. So off you go and do that. That's funky. Get down. Ooh. Here we go.
Yeah, whilst we've got him, at least it's everybody's favourite time of the week. It's Kenny's quiz, and just because we are doing a roundup of all the qualifiers, and apologies for all of that little bit of shenanigans with technology there just a moment ago. Ken we just lost him completely. Then I could see him, but he couldn't hear us and all that kind of stuff. So apologies for all of that, but we'll keep it all in. We like to make these podcasts as live as we possibly can. We don't like to edit them very heavily, as you can possibly tell. So we're going to do Kenny's quiz. Ken, I've got a quiz in front of me, courtesy of a website called quizbit.com. 50 World Cup quiz questions.
50?
Choose. Yeah, I'm not going to do 50, but I'm going to let you choose three numbers. Choose three numbers, and we'll do whatever the corresponding question is for that. So your first number, please, between 1 and 50. This is so
10.
easy. I wish I'd never done this now because I'm looking down the questions and they are so easy. Anyway, let's give it a go.
10.
Number 10. Question number 10 is, who did Zinedine Zidane famously headbutt in the 2006 final? Who did Zinedine God. Zinedine Zidane. I think I need to go to bed. Headbutt in the 2006 final. I see you've got a glass of wine in your hand, Ken. I think I should join you, mate. I think I should join you.
Yeah. Oh, I enjoyed that.
How long at home if you know?
I don't even remember who it was against, to be honest.
Mate, come on, you should know this off the top of your head. This is very straightforward. Do you want me to give you a clue who it's against? It won't count. It won't count if you get it right now. But it was against Italy.
Yeah, I was thinking Italy. Yeah, was it? Who's going to be there? Oh, I don't know. Roberto Baggio.
Okay, Roberto Baggio is, of course, not the right answer. If you know at home, shout out now. Yep, quite a few of you were right. The answer is Marco Materazzi. Materazzi.
No chance.
I thought I knew that. I thought you'd know that. Right.
Yeah,
give me a number.
20.
Give me a number.
20.
No, the answers are kind of on a different page. So I can also play along at the same time, to be fair. What animal was the official mascot for the 1998 World Cup in France? What animal was the official mascot for the 1998 World Cup in France?
These are easy.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a famous French animal. What's a famous French animal? Cockerel. Like that to be, isn't it?
Well, exactly. That's what I said. These are easy questions. Right. Pick me a number. Between 1 and 50.
30.
Go deep. Go on, go deep.
45.
Oh, damn. I should have stuck with 30. Okay, 45 is... We've covered this on this podcast.
Hey.
So this will show you how much... This will show you how much you listen to this or how much notice you take of any of your own research. Okay. Which player scored a record 13 goals in a single World Cup tournament?
in a tournament, or
Yeah, in the
this
tournament.
was this was the guy from Australia when they beat someone 36-1 or whatever it was in tournament. Oh, it's a tournament. I'm going to say Cristiano Ronaldo.
No. The answer
No.
was Juste Fontaine, the French player. Mate, I'm a bit disappointed with that.
She's Fontaine. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, if that was the easy 45th question, I'm glad I didn't ask for the 30th, because that would have been like, what was the attendance at the 1926 World Cup final, and can you name them?
Oh, have you seen this quiz?
So there, yeah, okay. I didn't do very well. 1 out of 3.
Which nation has only ever played a single World Cup game? Which nation? That's it. I mean, no, you're not going to know that. I didn't know. It's just really interesting. That's number 31, by the way. I could do this all night. It's a great little quiz. I like this. Anybody
Well,
at
we'll
home?
do it.
Anybody at home?
We'll do it.
No. The answer is,
I do know the answer to this.
do you?
I'm sure I know that. Yeah, because they only played one game, and because you only got to play one game. I think it's something like. I think it's something like Guatemala.
No.
Oh,
Indonesia is the answer.
no, right. I wasn't getting that in the book.
You're miles
Right, you were right. I wasn't getting that.
away. Good quiz. Maybe one day when we run out of teams to go through, we'll just do a massive quiz throughout the entire podcast. Right, I'm going to
We
finish
should
the
do it
podcast.
on the night before the World Cup final. A massive
Yeah,
World Cup.
oh, we should do, shouldn't we? Yeah, we should do. Let's play this.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Right, we're going to close off the podcast with. Oh, not a good one.
Yay! 3 out of 3.
That's not working.
3 out of 3.
It should stop automatically. It just isn't. It's been an absolute car wreck.
I love that. That's great.
Disaster today.
Been a shocker.
To be fair, I preferred you when your Wi-Fi wasn't working. Right, let's finish the podcast with the question that I'm going to ask you, Ken. So this week, Cristiano Ronaldo became he made history by becoming the world's leading goal scorer in World Cup qualifying goals. He went into the game with Hungary on 39 goals, so he was tied with Guatemala's Carlos Ruiz, but he scored twice, and he's now on his own 41. He scored 41 goals in World Cup qualifying, more than anybody else on the entire planet. So I'm going to ask you, does that make Cristiano Ronaldo the best player in the world?
No, because there's more to being the best player in the world than how many goals you score in qualifying. Obviously,
Okay,
it's a lot.
let me widen it out then, because there's another thing that he's edging towards. It should have been, to be fair, it should have been 42, but he missed a penalty against Ireland last week. 948 goals in 1,293 games across his entire career. I mean, don't tell me that doesn't qualify him, at least in the thinking.
Oh, no question, he's in the thinking. And there's nobody thinks about it more than Cristiano Ronaldo. But I do, he's clearly a great. Is he the GOAT? No, but he's in the herd, if you like, of potential GOATs.
Who else is in the herd? Who is the GOAT?
Small herd. It's a small herd, but it doesn't make him the GOAT in my eyes. It might make him, in fact, it is probably indisputable that he is. That does make him the greatest goal scorer of qualifying goals of all time. I give him that.
We know that. Yeah, we know that.
But it's not as simple as that, because he scored 100. In fact, if you look at his record internationally, he scored 143 goals for Portugal, but he's done it in 225 games, and he takes all the penalties. So that's a goal every 1.57 games. If you look at Ali Daei, the famous Persian, Iranian.
I didn't think you were heading in that direction, to be fair. But yeah, go on.
He scored 108 international goals in 148 games. That's one every 1.37.
Yeah. And who's he play for?
Iran.
Exactly. And who do Iran play?
No, I would make the argument that makes it more difficult
Why?
because he's playing for a worse team. If you look even
Yeah, but Iran
to a
don't
player,
play top quality opposition regularly like Portugal do.
I give him,
Do they?
fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, you
Yeah,
can,
fair enough.
yeah.
They're a better team. The other player to mention in this, Romelu Lukaku, 89 goals in 124 games for Belgium, a goal every 1.39. So what I'm saying is, yeah, I mean, Ronaldo is a magnificent specimen. He's a great, great player. I'm not keen on him. I'm not sure Thomas Tuchel would be keen on him. That's what I'm saying. I think he gives out vibes that I don't necessarily like. But he is a great player, but I still don't think he's the great test player.
I think Tom Tuchel probably wouldn't select him because he's Portuguese. He scored 948 goals. I thought everybody listening to this, everybody on the entire planet, when you think, right, who is the GOAT? Who's Ken now going to compare him to? He didn't expect us to say those two players.
Ali Daei
Ali Daei
and Romelu Lukaku. Yeah, but that's why people tune in, Nick, because what they get is,
unexpected.
a kind of analysis they won't get anywhere else.
So if you're going to compare him to the other GOAT, obviously Lionel Messi, and that's what everybody really wants to do, let's face it. Ronaldo's got 948 goals. Messi's got 886. Messi's got more assists, 398, compared to Ronaldo's 258. And goals per game.
What would it look like if you took the penalties out?
Well, that's not the point, is it? Because scoring a penalty is still
I
scoring a goal.
think it is part of the point, though, because I think actually goals from open play are much more difficult to achieve than goals from the penalty spot.
Right. Well,
I think that's fair.
Yeah, but everybody who's up there in those charts takes penalties. So you've got to take
Messi taking as many.
Well, he does take him. Messi's got a 77.6 conversion rate, by the way, on penalties, in case you're wondering, to Ronaldo's 84%. So, yeah, look, I think you're being really. I just don't like him.
You just love him. You just love him.
I do love him. I absolutely love him. I love Ronaldo. I think he's brilliant. I think the age of 40. Yeah, the age of 40. So he's half your age, Ken, but he's still doing it.
I scored more goals, though.
Yeah, in your own brain. Yeah, I mean, at the age of 40, to still be doing it at international level, at the highest of international levels, is amazing. And I love Ronaldo. I think he's brilliant. I just think he's brilliant. And yes, I love Lionel Messi as well. Before everybody writes and goes, "What about Messi?" And I don't really love Lukaku that much, but I quite like Ali Daei.
Ali Daei's great.
Yeah, I just think his record, year after year after year after year, is relentless.
Ali Daei, you're talking about again?
No, I'm not talking about Ali Daei. Honestly, do you know it's so much better when I was doing this on my own. When you just
he is a force. He's a force of nature, no question. We're lucky to have lived. In 100 years' time, they'll say, "Oh, there was a bloke called Cristiano Ronaldo back in the 2020s. He was, you wouldn't believe how good he was, and he is great." It just doesn't get to number one for me. Okay. Lionel Messi will always be that.
Yeah, that's fair, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, I think whoever you can make an argument for both, and you can use whatever stats you can to back your argument for both. I would say, in reality, you can't put a fag packet between the pair of them. It's just, you never be able to argue.
No one's ever done that, though, Nick. No one's ever taken a packet of cigarettes and tried to insert it between those two people. Maybe that should be something we should do.
That'd be good. That'd be good to watch. That'd make great TV. But the interesting thing about Ronaldo is obviously Portugal are going to qualify, we think, for next year's World Cup. He's still got 2 years to go on his Al Nassr contract in Saudi. So is he going to become the first player in football history to reach 1,000 goals? Yes or no? No. You are just so wrong on everything today. You are wrong on everything to do with the Premier League podcast.
How many has he got? How many goals has he got now?
Oh, sorry, have you not been taking part in this conversation? Have I just been talking to
the end of a long day? Just how many goals?
He's got 948 goals. He needs 52 goals in the next 2 years.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
But he's averaged more than that in every calendar year for the last...
Yeah, he's 41. Not a chance.
I think he will.
He could get injured at any moment. He could
Well,
pull.
yeah, of course he could.
his,
Yeah,
He could pull his, pectoral muscle. His
He might-
neck. I mean, he's got a big neck, hasn't he? He could pull his jugular.
right. I think it's probably a good time to finish this podcast because Ken needs to go to bed. I think we've probably worked that one out. So thank you very much indeed for listening to Road to World Cup 26 podcast, the qualifying
Good.
update episode. I enjoyed it other than that 5-minute spell where Ken's Wi-Fi went and absolutely disappeared. So apologies for that. But, that's life. That's the way it goes. I'm sure you've all out there had issues sometimes when your Wi-Fi is gone. That's the way it goes. We're going to be back to normal next week looking at qualifying teams. And my, oh my, what a pool of teams we've suddenly got to pick from in the last week and a half. Ken, where do you want to go?
We're going to Algeria. And in fact, I can do better than that. I can give you a rundown of where we're going. We've got Algeria, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Qatar, Senegal, Côte d'Ivoire, or the Ivory Coast in the old money, and then the team I'd forgotten, Ghana. We'll add them on as the 30th team that we've covered.
Ghana's going to be an interesting one. So,
are they actually qualified?
I refereed a tournament about 3 weeks ago, and it was like although it was a kind of local tournament where I am, it was an African Nations Association tournament. So all the players represented their own countries.
Wow.
And Ghana, and the idea was, it was all quite relaxed and all that. And there was after the tournament finished, there was food and drink and celebrations and all that kind of stuff. Ghana stormed off in the half after I sent one of their players off, and then disallowed or didn't give them a penalty right at the end of the game, which meant they got disqualified fairly on. And rather than staying and enjoying the African
disqualified.
No. I sent one of their players off, and then they wanted a penalty right at the end of the game. I didn't give it, and it meant they got not disqualified. They got knocked out of the competition.
Yeah.
And instead of staying around, and that was fairly early on, but instead of staying around to enjoy the celebrations and shake hands with their fellow Africans from other nations, they all stormed off in the half, shouting abuse at me as they went. So I'm probably banned from Ghana just as much as you are, my friend.
Oh, no. Ghana have just gone right up in my estimation. Come on, the Ghanaians. We're going to broadcast the next one live from Accra in Ghana? I think so. So brilliant. Hey, come on, you Ghana.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you say so, mate. If you say so. I'm just looking to see. By the way, I'm just looking to see where they are because I am right in thinking they've qualified. Because you've now made me doubt myself.
If they are, they've slipped past me.
Right. Oh, okay.
Hey, lots of things slip past me as we've worked out tonight.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Mostly your Wi-Fi. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I'm going to have to go back to you on that. Or maybe completely.
Anyway, don't worry about it. We're not covering Ghana for another 10 weeks, by which time they probably have qualified.
I don't even know. I can't even see them anywhere. Oh, my goodness. Right. I'm going. Goodbye, everybody. No, thanks for listening. And we'll see you next week. Until then, look after yourselves. Look after each other.
Au revoir. Au revoir.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.